Before the world knew his name, before the billions of views, before the stadiums, the awards, and the global fame, there was a boy in Tandale, one of the poorest neighborhoods in Dar es Salaam, selling clothes on the streets just to survive. That boy had no connections, had no money, and had no guarantee. But he had one thing, a dream so loud it could not be ignored. Today, that boy is known as Diamond Platnumz, Africa's most watched, most influential, and most successful musician of a generation. This is not just a story of a superstar. This is a story of how African music learned to believe in itself. This is the life, rise, empire, and the legacy of Nassib Abdul Juma Isaac, aka Diamond Platnumz, aka Simba. Diamond Platnumz was born Nassib Abdul Juma Isaac on October 2nd, 1989 in Tandale, Dar es Salaam. It was a place where dreams were often crushed by realities before they could take shape. Tandale was crowded, loud, and unforgiving, a neighborhood where children learned survival early and ambition late. He was raised by a single mother after his father was absent. Diamond grew up watching struggle unfold daily in his life. His mother worked relentlessly to provide food, shelter, and education, and in doing so, she became his first hero and his strongest motivation. Music was not entertainment in Isaac's household. It was comfort, it was therapy, and a quiet rebellion against poverty. Young Nassib spent hours mimicking melodies he heard on radios, absorbing sounds from Congo Rumba, Tanzanian Tarab, American R&B, and early Bongo Flava. He wasn't dreaming of fame, he was dreaming of escape. He wanted to use music as an escape. And as a teenager, he sold second-hand clothes, washed cars, and ran errands to raise money for studio time. When his mother sold her ring to help him record his first song, it was a symbolic act that she was investing in his future. That moment cemented Diamond's purpose. He would succeed, not just for himself, but for his mother and his entire family.
See, before they knock out, we like to be praised. And then we pop bottles, belly of champagne. Cause love is the thing that I have in my heart, and it's there for you. That African queen that I need and I want every day, it's only you.
Before success, there was silence. Diamond recorded multiple songs that never reached radios. Producers ignored him, studios dismissed him, and many told him to give up. But rejection only sharpened his hunger. He studied songwriting, vocal control, and stage performances, and determined to sound different from everyone else. And in 2009, after years of struggle, Diamond released Kamwambi, a song born from heartbreak and frustration. Its emotional honesty cut through Tanzania like lightning. Listeners heard themselves in his voice, their pain, their love, and longing. Radio stations played it non-stop, and within weeks, Diamond Platnumz was no longer an underground artist. He was a national phenomenon. The same year, he won the Best Upcoming Artist at the Tanzania Music Awards, confirming his arrival. But fame also brought new challenges. It came with pressure and fear of becoming a one-hit wonder, just like most upcoming artists. This period forced Diamond Platnumz to grow quickly, learning that success was not a destination, but a responsibility. By the early 2010s, Diamond Platnumz realized that survival in music requires evolution. The African music industry was changing rapidly, and staying relevant meant growing beyond local trends. Instead of copying what was already popular, Diamond began to study global music patterns with almost scientific focus. He listened to American R&B for emotion and structure, Nigerian Afrobeat for rhythm and crossover appeal, the Caribbean dancehall for energy, and Congolese rumba for melody and soul. But his genius was not imitating any of this. It was a fusion. He blended these influences with Swahili lyrics, Tanzanian storytelling, and the emotional openness of Bongo Flava, creating a sound that felt deeply African. This new sound became evident in songs like Number One, Nana, Mariu, Bagala, and Komasava, which dominated radio dance floors across East Africa, Central Africa, South Africa. Diamond Platnumz was no longer just making hits. He was creating an African pop formula that would travel across borders without losing identity. His music was played in clubs in Nairobi, Lagos, Johannesburg, Kampala, London, and Dubai, proving that language was no longer a barrier when emotion was universal. For the first time, a Tanzanian artist was commanding attention at continental level, not just as a guest, but as a leader. In 2013, Diamond Platnumz's impact reached a historic milestone when he signed with Universal Music Group, becoming the first East African artist to secure a deal with the global music giant. This moment changed the perception of East African music forever. It sent a message to the global music industry that Africa was not just a market, it was a creative powerhouse. The deal gave Diamond Platnumz international distribution, access to global platforms, and more importantly, it gave hope to thousands of artists watching him from the sidelines. Diamond was no longer chasing the world was now paying attention to him. While many artists were still chasing radio spins and label deals, Diamond Platnumz understood something revolutionary. The future of music was digital, visual, and direct to fan. At a time when African music videos were often low budget and under-promoted, Diamond Platnumz invested heavily in cinematic storytelling, flashing choreography, and branding. Each video was treated like a film, not just a promotion, and this approach will soon change the entire industry. YouTube became Diamond's global television network, with videos like Jeje, Inama, Yope Remix, Wa, Gimme, African Beauty, and Babalo. He didn't just release music, he created events. Fans waited for his premiere the way people waited for movie releases. The production quality was unmatched, featuring high-end cinematography, African luxury, and powerful symbolism. This visual showcased a modern Africa which was confident, stylish, and globally competitive, changing how the world saw African creativity. As views climbed into hundreds of millions, Diamond became the most watched and most subscribed African artist on YouTube, holding records that no African artist had ever touched before. But the numbers were only part of the story. His real achievement was control. By dominating digital platforms, Diamond removed dependence on traditional media. He owned his audience, his distribution, and his narrative. He studied algorithms, release timing, thumbnails, fan engagement, and viral strategy long before most African artists understood digital marketing. Diamond's visual strategy created a blueprint for the next generation of artists across Africa, because artists across Africa began investing more on visuals, branding, and digital storytelling, raising the overall quality of the continent's music industry. And by this way, Diamond Platnumz didn't just win the digital era, he taught Africa how to win it. By mastering the internet, he turned African music into a global product without waiting for permission from anyone. This chapter of his career proved that vision, when paired with strategy, could break any boundaries. By 2015, Diamond Platnumz had learned a hard truth that many artists discovered too late. Hits bring fame, but ownership brings freedom. After years of navigating contracts, promotion systems, and industry politics, Diamond Platnumz realized that real power in music was not just about being the biggest star. It was about controlling the system that creates stars. That realization that led to the birth of Wasafi Records, a label built not just to serve the industry, but to change it. Wasafi was founded on a simple but the revolutionary idea. African artists deserve structure, investment, and long-term vision. Diamond personally funded studio spaces, video production, artist development, and marketing. He didn't just sign artists, he trained them. And under Wasafi Records, artists were taught branding, discipline, stage performance, digital strategy, and business etiquette. This approach produced stars like Rayvanny, Harmonize, Zuchu, Mbosso, Lava Lava, and Queen Darling, each with distinct identities but united by a common standard of excellence. But Diamond's vision went far beyond music. He understood that control of media meant control of narrative. So he launched Wasafi Media, including Wasafi TV and Wasafi Radio, creating platforms that promoted African content without external gatekeepers. He added Wasafi Festival, touring his artists across Tanzania and East Africa, turning concerts into cultural celebrations and economic engines, making Wasafi one of the most complete entertainment ecosystems ever built by an artist in Africa. This empire did not come without conflict. Internal label disputes, artist exits, public disagreements tested Diamond's leadership and maturity. But in every controversy, Wasafi proved its strength. It survived, it evolved, and remained dominant. Diamond was no longer just a hit maker. He had become a CEO, a strategist, and a symbol of African ownership. In a continent where artists had long been exploited, Wasafi became proof that independence was possible. Like the saying goes, to whom more is given, more is expected. And as Wasafi empire grew, so did the weight on Diamond's shoulders. With hundreds of employees, artists and families depending on him, his life was no longer his own. Every decision carried consequences. Every mistake made headlines. His personal life, relationships, children, private struggles became public entertainment. In a digital age driven by gossip and virality, Diamond lived under a microscope. Few could survive. But the pressure wasn't only public, it was internal. Diamond carried the burden of being a role model, a provider. Fans expected perfection. Artists expected guidance. The industry expected dominance. Yet he was still human, flawed, emotional, and learning in real time. Music became his release, a way to process pain, growth, and regret. Many of his later songs reflect his emotional evolution, showing some level of maturity, vulnerability, and reflections that only experience can bring. Despite scandals, criticisms, and exhaustion, Diamond refused to collapse. He adapted, refined his image, and stayed relevant in an industry that destroyed most stars within a decade. His ability to survive fame, not just to enjoy it, became one of his greatest achievements.
One more time, after turn the tether. Tether. I get turn the tether. Shuka chini tether. I say, hey, tetema, yani kama umepigwa shot. Tetema, nipe migadisho ya robot. Tetema, ukutani mpaka kwenye coach. Tetema, kwenye giza wapashika. Kataka kamenoga, ukapandizi za bugo. Nakapandisha boda boda.
Diamond Platnumz is no stranger to multiple awards. By the time his career reached peak, the awards had become too many to count, but each one told a larger story than a trophy ever could. From BET Awards to MTV Europe Music Awards, from Prima to Sound City MVP Awards, Diamond's name appeared again and again on global stages. He became one of the most decorated African artists of his generation. But the awards were never real victory. They were symbols of a deeper transformation taking place across the continent. Diamond changed the way African artists saw themselves. Before him, many musicians believed success meant signing foreign deals, changing accents, or abandoning local languages. Diamond did the opposite. He sang in Swahili, celebrated African beauty, and remained rooted in Tanzanian identity, even as he conquered global charts. This shift was revolutionary. He proved that authenticity could scale, and that African culture was not a limitation. It was actually an advantage. And suddenly, artists from East, West, Central, and Southern Africa began embracing their roots with confidence, knowing that the world was finally listening. His influence went far beyond music. He redefined African celebrity branding. From fashion, visuals, social media, business ownership, and fan engagement all followed his blueprint. He normalized the idea that African artists could be CEOs, investors, and cultural leaders. And in doing so, Diamond didn't just inspire artists, he inspired entrepreneurs, creatives, and young people across the continent to dream bigger, act bolder, and own their own future.
When I say I love you, believe me it's true. The only thing I have in my life is you. Washa penzi kama moto, tukomeshe hao wanapenda choko choko. Una penzi kama bia.
Diamond's legacy goes far beyond hits, awards, or records. He transformed Bongo Flava from a local genre into a global sound, showing the world that African music could thrive without losing its cultural identity. And by singing in Swahili, celebrating the Tanzanian culture and building one of Africa's largest entertainment empires through Wasafi Records and Wasafi Media, he created opportunities for an entire generation of artists including Rivani, Moso, Harmonize, and many more. Today, he continues to innovate and evolve. He remains a chart-topping recording artist, releasing songs that dominate streaming platforms and African charts, while also expanding the Wasafi brand internationally. He collaborates with global artists and performs at major festivals, and also invests in media and business ventures, ensuring that his influence extends far beyond music. And more than just a performer, he is a mentor, he's an entrepreneur, and a cultural icon whose journey from the streets of Tandale, Dar es Salaam, to the world stage continues to inspire millions. Diamond Platnumz is not just a star, he's a living legacy, shaping the future of African music and African culture. Legends are not defined by how they rise, but by what they leave behind. Diamond Platnumz didn't just chase success, he created pathways. His stories prove that greatness can come from anywhere, no matter your situation, no matter where you were born, and no matter your upbringing. And that Africa's voice is powerful enough to echo across the world, without any dilution, without any change. African voices can echo across the world authentically. And as long as African music plays, his name will remain written in gold, a diamond that will never fade. If you like content like this, please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment below. Let me know which artist you will want me to cover next. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next.